Welcome to this edition of the Click and Pledge's Fundraising Command Center podcast, where we talk the why, the what, and the how in the Click and Pledge's ecosystem.
And today, we're kicking off a really critical deep dive as part of our The Why series.
Right, and we're focusing on an issue that we think is, well, maybe the most ignored problem in effective fundraising today.
It really is. We're talking about data silos. More importantly, we're talking about the catastrophic, silent loss of donor intelligence that comes with them.
Okay, so this sounds pretty heavy, but it's absolutely necessary. And I want to be clear with everyone listening, our goal today isn't to just sell a quick fix.
Not at all. This is strictly diagnostic.
We need to expose a painful truth, which is how the tech setups most of you are probably using right now are directly leading to, well, disastrous donor retention rates.
And we are going to get a bit controversial. We have to talk about why some of the revenue you're bringing in is actually harmful. We call it toxic revenue.
A tough pill to swallow, but essential. So, where do we start?
It starts with philosophy, actually. Before we could even talk about solutions, you have to fundamentally rethink what data is. We recommend organizations stop seeing data as just, records in a spreadsheet.
Okay, I'm with you. So if data isn't just a record in a database, what is it?
We suggest that data is the DNA of your organization.
The DNA. Okay, that's a powerful metaphor.
Think about it biologically. If you adopt that perspective, your entire strategy has to shift.
So like a blueprint for life for the organization.
Exactly. When your data is unified, when all those streams of information-giving history, volunteer hours, what emails they open, when it all flows together, it acts like a healthy genetic code.
And then this healthy DNA lets the organization do what exactly?
It lets you express complex, sophisticated behaviors. It means you can, remember a donor's birthday, you can acknowledge their volunteer work before you ask for money.
So you know exactly when to ask for that major gift. You're not just guessing.
You're not guessing. The organization acts like a single, intelligent entity that truly knows its supporters.
Yeah.
It has a memory.
But the opposite, the siloed approach, is what we see almost everywhere.
And that's where the DNA gets shattered. It's fragmented. You have your event data over here, your email data somewhere else, payment info in a third system.
And that leads to, what did you call it?
We call it corporate Alzheimer's.
Corporate Alzheimer's. So the organization is literally genetically unable to remember its supporters.
It loses all the context.
Yeah.
That's the key. Data needs context to have meaning, just like DNA needs a cell to express itself. Without context, a donation amount is just a dead number. It's meaningless code.
Then this shattered DNA, this memory loss, it leads to the physical manifestation of the problem, right? The actual tech stack that people are using.
That's it. Because nonprofits, they solve one problem at a time. We need an event tool. We need a new email system. They don't build a healthy organism.
They build a
Frankenstein monster.
The Frankenstein monster, a collection of parts stitched together that don't really work as a whole.
Exactly. Most nonprofits haven't built an organism. They've assembled a monster from incompatible parts bought over the last 10 years.
Now, wait a second. Isn't that just good practice? I mean, using the best-of-breed tool for each job. You get MailChimp for emails because it's great, a specific P2P tool for your marathon, PayPal for easy donations. Why is that building a monster?
That is the trap. Each individual part might seem excellent on its own, but if you bolt them together without a single unified nervous system, you get this clumsy, lumbering creature.
Okay, so let's break down the anatomy of this monster. What are the parts?
All right, so you've got a specialized third-party peer-to-peer tool. It's fantastic for your charity run, tracks everything perfectly, but it locks all that donor and participant data inside its own little world.
Okay, and then you've got the generic PayPal button just slapped on the website, a quick donation, but you often get zero contact info back.
Right. And internally, you've got a separate bank portal for direct transfers.
Yeah.
You've got MailChimp or Constant Contact holding all your communication history completely separate from who's actually giving.
And holding it all together, or trying to,
is a massive, error-prone Excel spreadsheet managed by hand by exhausted staff who are literally trying to glue the DNA of the organization back together manually.
So the fundamental flaw is that the head, the strategy, has no idea what the hand, the payment processor, is actually doing.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And so the monster moves clumsily. Think about it. A donor, let's call him Mike, raises $10,000 for you on that P2P tool.
Amazing. He's a hero for your organization.
He is. But because that P2P tool doesn't talk to your email system, the very next day, your main office sends Mike a mass email that starts with, "Dear friend, we wanted to introduce ourselves."
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah.
You've just proven to Mike that you have no idea who he is or what he just did for you.
You've insulted him. The monster forgets names. It asks for money at the worst possible times. And ultimately, it just scares the villagers, your donors, away.
And this problem gets even worse, right? It scales up.
It escalates exponentially when you get to the most dangerous form of the data silo, what we call the aggregator black hole.
Okay, let's get specific here, because these are platforms a lot of nonprofits think are a huge win for them.
We have to name them. We're talking critically about two major black holes: Facebook Giving and the PayPal Giving Fund, or the PayPal Foundation.
They make it so easy for people to give, so what's the problem?
The problem is the mystery donor phenomenon. A supporter sees a birthday fundraiser on Facebook, so they click, they give, or they use the PayPal button. The platform gets the money.
And the data.
Crucially, the platform gets the data to get your DNA. Then, maybe 30, 60, 90 days later, your nonprofit gets a single lump sum check.
And the report that comes with it is supposed to tell you who gave?
Supposed to. But it's a data graveyard. It's just a list of anonymous labels or maybe a bare name with no email, no address, no context whatsoever. The DNA is shredded before it even gets to you.
Which leads to what you call the donor illusion. The board sees a $1,000 check from the PayPal Giving Fund and they think, great, we just got 50 new donors.
We suggest that is completely false.
So who acquired the donors?
Facebook acquired them. PayPal acquired them. Your nonprofit just received a tip, a one-time transaction.
And because the data is gone, you have zero ability to thank those individual people. You can't tell them what their money did.
You have zero ability to retain them. It's an accounting nightmare and a relationship dead end. It's that simple. If you cannot thank a donor, you cannot keep a donor.
Wow. Okay. This is all leading to a pretty controversial place, I think.
It is. This is the truth that most nonprofit boards and executives are, frankly, terrified to hear. We suggest that not all money is good money.
Whoa, hold on. Stop right there. That goes against every single instinct a fundraiser has. How can revenue be toxic? A dollar is a dollar. It helps the mission. Are you actually suggesting a nonprofit should look at a donation and say, no thanks?
I know how that sounds. It's shocking.
Yeah.
But yes, our core thesis is this. Receiving $1 from a donor through a disconnected channel is a $100 lost opportunity. It actively poisons that future relationship.
$100 lost opportunity.
That is toxic revenue.
Okay, you have to walk me through the math on that, slowly. How does $1 cost me 100?
It starts with what we call the blind capture. You get the cash, right? But the data, the context, is totally missing.
Okay, so let's use an example. Donor Jane gives $50 through a third-party event platform that doesn't talk to our main system. We get the $50.
You get the $50, it goes in the bank. But Jane's record is now an orphan. It's isolated. 6 months later, when you look in your main system, Jane is basically a blank slate.
So when we try to follow up to send a retention appeal, we're forced to treat her like a complete stranger.
Exactly. You send out that generic email, "Dear friend, would you consider a $25 donation?" But here's where the damage happens.
Okay.
If you had a unified system, your DNA was intact, you might have known that Jane didn't just give $50. You would have known she also downloaded 3 of your annual reports and follows you on social media. You would have known she's a prime candidate for a recurring gift, maybe $30 a month.
Instead, because our data failed, we insult her. We send this generic low-level ask that shows we have no idea who she is.
And she feels it. She feels unappreciated, like she's just another number. So she unsubscribes. Or she just churns. That $30 monthly gift goes to another organization that actually remembers her name. The moment you treated Jane like a stranger, you incinerated thousands of dollars in her potential lifetime value.
So that $50 you got today was toxic. It guaranteed you would mismanage the relationship down the road.
Orphaned data poisons the relationship. It forces your organization to act like it has Alzheimer's, which forces you to send out insulting communications. So yes, we believe you are often better off rejecting the $1 from a black hole aggregator.
Rejecting it.
Then accepting it into a system that guarantees you'll destroy any future value.
Okay, so to recap this whole diagnosis, we have the Frankenstein system built from incompatible parts.
We have the shattered DNA that leads to corporate Alzheimer's.
The aggregator black holes like Facebook and PayPal that strip out all the context.
And all of that creates toxic revenue. which actively damages your future fundraising.
We have to be really clear with everyone listening. This is not just some IT inconvenience.
It's a fundamental business crisis.
Yeah.
This is the structural reason your retention rates are suffering. It's why you feel like you're on a treadmill, constantly trying to acquire new people just to replace the ones your system forgot.
So your current setup, with all these silos and black holes, is actively losing you thousands of dollars in future relationships. Every single week.
But that leaves the biggest question of all. Is there a cure for this? For this organizational amnesia?
Is there a way to heal the DNA, to make the organization act like a single intelligent being that actually remembers its supporters?
Can you turn that Frankenstein monster into a mentor?
There is. There's a path forward. It's something we call unified intelligence. It's a way to make fundraising, communications, every touch point operate as one coherent whole. It turns that dead data into living DNA.
And that is the cure we're going to unveil in our next discussion. You really don't want to miss part 2 of this deep dive.
For more information about this and all Click and Pledge products, make sure to visit clickandpledge.com and request for a one-on-one training or demo, whether you are a client or curious about our platform. Just ask us, and we will gladly get together with you to chat.
And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. Stay up to date with all the latest and greatest features of the Click and Pledge Fundraising Command Center. We'll see you next time to talk about the solution.